Hello everybody and welcome to another tutorial in camera and lens repair. And this time I will take my old, I don't know how old, Schneider-Kreuznach Cine-Tele-Xenar, and it's 2.8 and a 75mm. It's a D mount for the 8mm movie cameras, and I simply will try to remove, I don't know exactly, but it could be all fungus or haze or just another kind of dirt or something like that. But let's see how it can go. This fine looking, I mean some way. The focus is not so well, it's okay, yeah, but I'll just try to clean it. But let's have a look inside and see how good or bad. So I simply have the aperture full open, and let's put a torch through the lens and see how not so good it is. I mean, there is, I'm not quite sure if it's fungus or is it haze or just a lot of dirt. But there's a lot of something in there. But you'll see. So yeah, we need some tools, 2 screwdrivers. One is 1.8mm flathead and a 1.2mm. Dentist tweezer is also really good to make scratch, not on the lens element but on the metal. A few, maybe a few of those old compasses in different shapes of the end could be very handy. A tweezer is also really good, and we will also use some rubber stoppers. I mean the famous Japan hobby tool, rubber cone. Thank you, Richard. And this is another shape which is actually the rubber thing for a walking stick. I mean, so it's not slippery on the road, but it has the right diameter and it has the right rubber, type of rubber, so make it really sticky. So yeah, you can get them in shops who sells stuff for maybe old people or handicapped people or something like that. It could be, I don't know. I bought this in a shop who sells things for handicapped people or not so well walking people. Another of those rubber stopper is also very handy, especially because they can be used to hold a lens element when you clean it. And of course we need some solution for actually clean the lens element, and the probably, I mean, there will be the lighter fluid and the hydrogen peroxide 3%. And to clean the lens element we will also use some peg pad. You could use whatever Kim wipes or whatever name they have. Now a lens sucker, maybe 2 different, I don't know yet. But, and of course a lens blower. This is a HEPA Jet 2. It's actually called the Orbit, and it's actually made by KOH and distributed by photosol.com. So this is how it looks. Orbit HEPA blower. Now that was enough. Let's get into the work here and see what we can do. So let's just take off the mount, the back here. I don't know what this ring will be for. Now we cannot just go into the back of the lens element who sits in here. because we need to take off that part here, which is held in place by 3 set screws. One there, and you will probably see I set a mark here. That's important because this mount, as I guess it is, has to sit the exact same place when you take it apart and of course put it back in again. So the set screws has to sit the same place. That's why I set a mark with just some of those permanent marker, so I can always take it away. Now the front section is a little different because we need to come into the front lens screw, and for that, well, we'll need to take off the nameplate, which is not a nameplate, it's actually the bearer who screws in. So for that we will simply begin with the rubber stopper and simply use the biggest one. It's number 6 and the whole group, so I have a better grip on it, and then have a good grip, and then it's possible to unscrew it. So there it is. And actually it's not necessary to actually take off the aperture ring, not in this case. I mean, it could be, I mean, maybe it's different in your lens. This one, as I see it here, has a little set hole, hole for a set screw, but there has never been anything in this, so I would guess it's not the way they put it in. So now the next thing is we need to unscrew the whole section in here. It will say the front lens screw. There is a tiny lens in here as the back lens screw, and there is one front lens screw, one lens element, and there is 3 cemented lenses together in between. So to actually get that the whole front lens assembly off, we need to take the outer, no, I mean not this here, but the whole section here with this ring. There are 2 notches in here. You probably can see one there and one on the other side over here somewhere. But I have taken a sneak peek inside just to see how it was assembled, and to actually get the whole front lens screw out, I will use this walking stick for a proper. Simply put it in. It has the correct diameter, as I know, for that. I also tried with the other one, the gray one here, but it's simply not, it's simply not sticky enough. The rubber, it slips too much. So that's what I found out. Okay, this one can be useful. So put it into the center of it, and then we will use some other of the rubber stopper here. It could be this one maybe, and it has to come over here, and simply it's number 2 of the cone. Press it down here so it will act as a bigger and a better grip. So something like that, and then we will have a good grip on it. It sits really tight. Probably come off. I'm not quite sure, but we will see. No, it doesn't move at all. So one need to have a really press really a lot of those rubber thingy. Maybe it's free or something. Not yet. Oh yeah, something has happened. I'm not quite sure if it's the front retaining ring that hold the front lens element, but we'll see how good it will go. So sometimes it can really be a problem to get things out, and it's the case here. Yeah. So only the front retaining ring comes out. So I can just take my lens sucker here and pull out the front lens element. As you can see here, it's flat on the back and convex on the other side. So just put it on a stand. So there. And now we need a lot more pressure on the next tube here. It should be possible to take out, so let's see how it will go. Maybe need a lot more pressure on this one here. So well, it's actually really tight. Now, but well, I could just take out the inner retaining ring, which I will do. It seems like it's a little more difficult than I thought. So let's see how it will go. Sometimes it's not easy to unscrew those old retaining rings, but let's see how it will go. It seems like something is loose in a way. It's good as a rubber, so I will not damage anything. Okay, not that easy. Is it loose or is it? Well, seems like something is moving. Yeah, so we'll just take it out. So it should be loose, hopefully, and it should just pop in my hand. Yeah, something is fine, and we will just see how good it will go. Yeah. So, okay, it's actually loose, so it should be possible to suck out the lens with this little one and simply pull it out gently. So, and here we see the middle lens group. It's cemented by 3 lens elements, as you can see here. One there, there, and there. Really special. But actually this one looks really fine. So how about the back? Okay. To come into the back here, we will take out the 3 screws around here. Remember the mark sits in line with the index mark, so there shouldn't be any problem. Only loosen the screws here. There's no need for fully unscrew them. Something like that should be fine. And then then we unscrew it. So something like that. And this is how it looks. Now, as you can see, there are 3 screws here in here, and before I unscrew those, I will simply make, as I already have been into it, but make a scratch here on the lens assembly where also the aperture sits, and put it in, and make another scratch on the black, so you know the position of it. Then use a 1.8 millimeter screwdriver to unscrew the 3 screws here. It's good with a magnetized screwdriver. It will also make it a lot easier to put it in when we come to that part. And unscrew it. So now 3, and then we can actually take the whole lens assembly out. So this is how it looks. Not anything special, and the focusing is actually fine to me. And now here we see the back lens group sits in this mount, and there is no need for unscrew the take out the aperture assembly here. It's not really necessary. But I will unscrew the back here, back lens group. For that, of course, I will use my, where did it go? Here, this the small one, number 1 of those rubber tool, and it should be possible to unscrew that here. This retaining ring here that hold the back lens, and take care. This lens is almost the same shape on both sides, so take care when you put it in again. So we can just pop it in my hand like this, hopefully, and so it comes out. So it is. And then we look at the back here on this tiny lens element. There is the differences in this lens on both sides. is almost the same. But then it's important to have a dentist tool to make a scratch here on the edge of the lens element, because setting an arrow scratches on the side of the lens, so you will know which direction it should be. I mean, if you put it in the opposite direction, well, you will probably have a different image. But how does it actually look if we put a torch through it? There's so much, I mean, really not really good for taking photos. Well, I have taken photos before I cleaned the lens, and I will take a photo after the cleaning process. I just need a good stand to have the lens element on, and this should be this one. I think it should be fine. There's some coating on, and I have no idea if it's soft or hard coating. So, but let's see how it can be. So I will just clean the lens with the lighter fluid and see how good it will go. Let's just have a. It's not, well, it's something dirt, but I would guess it's not only dirt. So let's have it on a little stand. So I will just clean the outside first, and with a new lens wipe and a little amount of lighter fluid, just so we can see how it will go. So this is the most dirty lens element. So there. Hopefully there is nothing. Well, since the lighter fluid cannot take away, I think it's fungus or something like that, but we will do another go with the hydrogen peroxide, just to see how good it will go. And it has worked in many other lenses, and just a little, doesn't have to be much. So something like that is more than enough. And we could probably also need a little cotton bud, just to make it easier to clean this tiny lens element. Just have a light pressure on it, and no, not yet, but it's interesting, this here. So there, and do not put a lot pressure on it, just have to be a light pressure, and well, the magic is happen. There's just a few drops on it, but as we saw before, you could not really see through the lens. But so what the lighter fluid cannot take, well, the hydrogen peroxide will do it. That's just amazing. So just tiny drop of lighter fluid and do the rest of the cleaning. So there. Maybe there's still something on, which there is. There's just a tiny spot. where things have sit, whatever it is. So I will just do another go. And let's see how good it will be. It seems like the coating is hard enough so it will not be damaged. And out. Yeah. So now it's much better. So I can just do the final cleaning with the lighter fluid and say that lens is fine. And then we continue with the rest of the lens element. Just have a little amount of lighter fluid. So there. Wow, what a huge difference. Then take the other side and say that's all fine. I'll just do the lighter fluid first, just to see how good it will go. Okay, little fellow. And how does it look? Okay, that's quite good, in my opinion. Okay, I mean, you probably remember how it looks before I clean it. I begin and until now. So that's actually fine. So whatever it is, I don't know. Remember the arrow which I set in the beginning, and simply put the lens into the mount again. And I will just do something like that. Maybe not. Just do so, and then put the lens assembly over it and flip it over, and the lens will hopefully sit in its mount. And it sits something like that. So now it sits where it should, much cleaner than before. That's just amazing. I mean, every time I do this, I think it's something magic. And then tighten the lens, and here we see, wow, what a huge difference. Now, then we head off to the next lens group. It will be the middle group, and see how it looks. Well, it's not really clean. There is something haze. That we just can wipe away, hopefully. Where do we have something to put it on? This one fits really good. And I will just begin with the lighter fluid. So yeah, just see how interesting this is. The lens is not that deep, but okay. Well, all the dust and dirt is on the front here. Okay. And then clean the front here. So let's see how it will go. And some lighter fluid and a gently pressure on the lens element out. Wow, that's just amazing. I think there's something on here, so we just do another go. So we can probably take away the rest of it. There was a little mark here. Wow, that's amazing. So let's see how it looks through some light. Well, you can see there is not really anything on it. So that's good. And I could just put in this lens element and say that's all fine. So we know where it is. So there. And just so we have it in a safe place. Click. Has to say click when the thread hit the when the retaining ring comes in, as it should. Hopefully it's, yeah, it goes really good. Now that's really splendid. Seems like this rubber tool is a little worn out. Could be. So, and it goes really good. So, and here we are. Oh, that's really, 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 really good. So, and then we will do the front lens element. And I will just do the flat surface, the inside. I will do it first, and then the very front. How does it look through with some light? Well, it's really dirty. Is it on the very front? It could be in the inside, could be on the outside. But let's see how good it will go. I'll just do the inside first, and then do the outside. And then it could be there is something on the edge. I don't know yet. Yeah. Then the outside. Does it look a little better? Not really any difference. So let's do the outside of the lens. It could be there's something dirty stuff on it on the very front, but let's see how it will go. It's so interesting, this stuff here. And what do you think? Well, let's see. Well, there's something on that is not so good. It could be there is some haze or something like that, but I will just try with some hydrogen peroxide, see if it can take away some of this dirt. And oh gosh, could be, turns out to be really good on the very back lens element. So what will happen then? Okay, things are improving, but I need another go. Just need some, need to have a better stand, so just so I do so, and it will make it safer to stand on the rubber tool. Well, there are some improvement here, so we just take a napkin, and not napkin, a tweezer, I mean, and some wipe, and do the final cleaning with the lighter fluid. It could be it has to have another go with the hydrogen peroxide, but let's see how it turns out. Wow. Okay. Still something on the edge here, but things has really improved a lot. You can see there is something on the edge up here. So I'll just do another go with the hydrogen peroxide. And I think it should be fine to do this as a final go. Maybe if I do so. Yeah, things are improving. Yeah, and do some lighter fluid, and I think it will be fine with that. And just do another go, the last go, with the lighter fluid on the very front. And well, it helps. The coating is still on. You can see the colors are really good. And I think it's fine for now. There was something on here. It will be interesting to see the difference in the two pictures before the cleaning process and after. So now I think it's fine for now, and I will simply just take my small lens sucker here and simply put the lens into its mount. So, wow, what a difference. Add the retaining ring. Put it on. And then screw in the retaining ring, catch the thread, go a little backward. Has to say click in a way. Sometimes it can be a little tricky. Yeah, I think it will be fine now. Look like there's still something on the edge, but I'm satisfied with the result now. So, and here we are. So how does it actually look through the whole lens? I mean, you can see there's a huge difference, and there is still the coating color still there, but how does it look through it? I mean, you can tell there's a huge difference. Wow, that's amazing. So it was a mix of lighter fluid, I mean a mix of fungus and haze and dirt and dust, whatever. So I can just put this on, screw it in, and tighten it gently. So it is there, and simply put the focus assembly over here. And since I set a mark here in the beginning, it's possible to see, not really possible, oh gosh, there. And I also set a mark in here. They just have to sit in line as they sit like this. Then put in the tiny screws and say that's all fine. Oh gosh, there. You can lift up the focus system and it will make it easier to actually catch the hole. I mean, put the screws in. Just turn them a few turns and then I can add all 3 screws in a more easy way. So it is. And then tighten them good. Don't over tighten them, they are so there. And this one and the last one, and we are almost there. So, and now the back here, the mount actually has to be put in, and since I have set a mark here, see there, it has to be in line with the index mark. And as you can see here, the little set screw sits in this boring. So I have to end it up this exact same place. That's why I set a mark here in the beginning. So and it has to be, oh, the focusing this one we can just set it to near end or something, and then I can just screw it in, and then sits in line, and then gently screw the set screw in, and it fits there. The second one, and the last one. So, and here we are, back on track, and I can put this ring, whatsoever it is for, I don't know, but screw it in and say that's all fine. So what a huge difference, this old lens. I mean, it takes good pictures, but it will be round on a APS-C sensor, but it performed really good. So I will just take another photo from the exact same position as it was, and show how the difference is. So that's all for me. Hope you can use the info in this video to clean old lenses. Bye bye.